falamos de helicópteros, até porque tem havido imensa inovação nesta área, até porque não pode parar a nível de investigação quanto à nova tecnologia. E falamos agora de helicópteros multifunções. Vamos saber exatamente o que é que se pretende, quais são as vantagens, qual é o input que poderá vir daqui deste tipo de aparelho. E chamo ao palco Garry Parks, diretor-geral da Leonardo. Hello, Garry. Nice to meet you. Go ahead.
Okay, hopefully you can all hear me. I'd like to start off by saying I'm Garry Perks. I am the General Manager of Leonardo here in Portugal. And it's a pleasure for us to be here as Leonardo for our first attendance at the Portugal Air Summit. My first impression, I have to say, is very positive, and I'd like to already thank the team of organisers for their assistance for us so far. I think so far the most difficult job has fallen on the makeup artist. I wasn't expecting to have to go into makeup for this experience, but that was a first for me as well. She assured me she was going to do her best to make me look like George Clooney. Well, I think that was far too ambitious. Unfortunately, I don't look like George Clooney, and I'm probably going to sound more like Boris Johnson, but anyway, that's enough of that. Again, unlike George Clooney, I'm not an actor, so if you see me referring to notes, it's because I'm referring to notes. So let's see if we can make this work. Good. So a little bit to start with about Leonardo as a group, as a corporation. You may already know, but just in case you don't, Leonardo is one of the top global companies in the fields of aerospace, defence and security. We are a truly global organisation. We have a global footprint. We're organised into 4 sectors. You can see them on the slide behind, hopefully. So those sectors being helicopters, defence electronics and security, aeronautics and space, and into 5 divisions. So within the defence electronics and security sector, we have separate divisions for electronics and cyber and security solutions. We offer a wide range of products, systems and services and integrated solutions, and we always look for opportunities to combine the capabilities across more than one division and sometimes sector to offer one-stop shop solutions to those who require it. Again, just a little bit more top-level information about the group. So as a global entity, we are just in excess of 50,000 employees. We have 4 what we call domestic markets, Italy being the largest. Leonardo is ultimately a predominantly Italian-owned business. The Italian state owns just over 30% of the enterprise. UK and US are the next 2 largest geographies that we serve and where we have industrial footprints. And Poland is the 4th market, dominated by the acquisition of a helicopter business in Poland, PZL Swidnik, as it was previously known some years ago. Another point which I'd just like to emphasize is that Leonardo is a great investor in future technologies. So to substantiate that, in 2021, Leonardo recorded revenues of 14.1 billion, of which 13%, so just under 2 billion, was actually ploughed back into investment in research and development. Okay, so I've already mentioned that I'm the General Manager of Leonardo Portugal, so we've had a presence here, a permanent presence in Portugal for over 15 years now. That started as a consequence of a successful contract that we acquired to supply a fleet of 12 EH-101 helicopters to the Portuguese Air Force. At that time, offset counter-trade was very much an essential part of those contracts. So that was all about making sure that Leonardo, as the beneficiary of such a prestigious contract, would do its best to reward the Portuguese state, not only by delivering the right product on time and to deliver the service and the capability that the contract required, but also to collaborate as well as we could with the industrial capability which exists in Portugal, thereby putting back some benefit into the Portuguese economy. I'm very pleased and proud to say that that offset commitment, which was in excess of 400 million euros, was successfully achieved several years ago. However, we stay here and we stay actively engaged with Portuguese industry, looking for opportunities where we can use our respective talents, capabilities and access to markets to deliver winning solutions. The entity that we have here, now called Leonardo Portugal, started life serving mostly the helicopter division's interests, but a few years ago that situation changed and our role and our responsibilities broadened to being Leonardo Group's in-country representative. So if anybody at any time in Portugal wishes to engage, they're not too sure which part of the Leonardo organisation it is that they need to talk to, more than happy that we be the first port of call. Come contact us. You'll find our contact details very easily on the Leonardo website. The more observant of you may well realise that the images that you're looking at now are not rotary wing. They're quite clearly fixed wing jets. It seemed to be a good opportunity for us to not to waste, especially with some of the attendees at this event from the Portuguese military, including the Air Force, that we just say a few words about some of our jet capability. So within Leonardo Aircraft Division, there are two products in particular which we believe should be of interest to the Portuguese Air Force. They are the M345, which is predominantly a jet trainer. Now, in the past, it's been quite usual for some end users to use turboprop technology aircraft to train jet pilots. And there was a big cost advantage some years ago, but that's no longer the case. And with the M345, what Leonardo Aircraft Division has done is develop a true jet trainer at an affordable cost to deliver training of ab initio pilots, so new jet pilots. So we just make reference to that in this event today. We also recognise that the Portuguese Air Force would also be interested in some light attack jet aircraft, and the M346 is Leonardo Aircraft Division's solution to that requirement. There's quite a lot of technical information about all of the Leonardo products, and I will only highlight a few of them as I go. But please take advantage of the wealth of information which is available on our website, as well as take advantage of our presence here at the Air Summit. We do have a stand and we have a lot more information should anybody be interested in some of the more technical details. So now back to the core topic, Leonardo helicopters, vertical flight, future landscape. So you'll see conventional helicopters. I think we're all familiar with those. What Leonardo is also working on to further develop our portfolio is fast rotorcraft, and our product which satisfies that requirement is the AW609. It's a tilt rotor. It takes off vertically as a helicopter would do. The rotors then transition into a forward-facing configuration, and it flies like an aeroplane would fly. We will be the first company to achieve civil certification with that product. So we do honestly consider we've got every right to believe that we are the world leaders in this particular area. We see lots of areas, segments, markets which would benefit from this technology, which is quite unique in particular in being able to fly at an altitude of up to 10,000 feet, fly forward much faster than other alternatives, fly above bad weather conditions, which is a significant advantage, and then land vertically, either on land or on platforms. We also are developing strongly in the area of rotary UAS in the greater than 150 kilo category. So we have a product which I have a slide on in a moment, which is a 200 kilo weight product. I'll tell you more about that later. And advanced air mobility. This is, if you like, the latest new area that we are exploring. I think we've probably got more to do than we've got behind us as achieved at the moment, but I think that's a positive because we can take advantage of all the latest thinking, all the latest technology. And although we are proud of our in-house capabilities, we're never too proud to not be prepared to speak with others who are also active and progressive and best in class in fields such as this. And I think we are already aware of a couple of those organisations with those aspirations and those capabilities, and some of them are in Portugal, and we'll happily continue the dialogue. I think another relevant example, just to highlight, is innovative propulsion. The use of sustainable aviation fuels, SAFs. So this is something which we've been actively looking at. We now have 12 different helicopter models that can operate on fuels with up to a 50% blend of sustainable aviation fuel with the conventional fuel. And a lot of those aircraft have already been or had service bulletins issued to the current operators so that they are very aware of that fact. Finally, I'll just quickly highlight that Leonardo is also considering development of a hybrid electric propulsion system for light helicopters. And again, I won't go into more detail on that at the moment, but just to bring that to your attention. Okay, so the purpose of this slide is just to summarise the breadth and depth of Leonardo's capability in helicopters. So we have military, and we have civil, and we have products which actually are dual use. So I think we've got all angles covered. Extensive portfolio from 200 kilos weight with the Hero UAV up to 16 tons with the AW101. We have multi-role helicopters suited to a full range of missions, for example, EMS, SAR, Medivac, public services, firefighting, very relevant in Portugal I know, and utility. We have specialised military helicopters to cope with any operational scenario. And we have innovative platforms including the 609 tilt rotor and the AW Hero UAV. So just a little bit more about the 609. As I've already mentioned, it will be the first civil tilt rotor to be certified. The AW609 brings new, unique and unmatchable capabilities to the aviation market. It's a step change in performance. The vertical takeoff and landing capability of a helicopter, but with the cruise speed, range and service ceiling of a turboprop. Moving to the AW Hero. The AW Hero is the only RUAS in its class that has been designed to the same safety concepts and aeronautical standards that are applied to manned helicopters. Can you still hear me? AW Hero has achieved military certification, the only one in its class to have done so, which marks a significant milestone in the program. There's a weight of 200 kilos and includes flexible sensors, it's modular, multiple payload capacity, and it's the best compromise between mission effectiveness, system footprint, and cost. I'm now going to talk about what we refer to as the AW family. So there are 3 of our most successful aircrafts which are referred to as the family. The most successful aircraft in AW's history, Leonardo helicopters history now, is the AW139. we've tried to take the positives from that aircraft and create two other variants, one slightly smaller, one slightly larger. So we have the 139, the 169, just going down the size, and the 189. They have 20% parts commonality. They have 30% common maintenance tools and ground support equipment, and it all adds up to something like a 40% reduction in training time associated with operators. I'll go through those products one by one very quickly. So starting with the 169, this is a 4.8 ton aircraft, twin engine, the largest cabin in its class. Up to 10 passengers can be seated in the cabin, or 2 stretchers. We already have more than 300 orders, and around 130 have been delivered in a number of configurations. The 139, as I've already alluded to, the flagship helicopter. We now have in the region of 1,100 of these aircraft in service, with more than 290 customers in over 80 countries on all continents. It has tremendous levels of reliability and operational capability. It's accumulated more than 3.5 million flight hours, and it's the most versatile product in the market. The aircraft has grown over years, and its takeoff weight has increased from 6.4 to 7 tons, and it has a feature which we know a lot of operators very highly value, which is a main gearbox run-dry facility of up to 60 minutes. It's got an operating speed of 165 knots, being the fastest cruise speed in this category. And although this is a well-established product, the AW139 remains young and still modern against the competition. It exists also in a military configuration, and I'll just quickly highlight the fact that Leonardo was extremely proud to have been selected for a major contract in the US, known as Grey Wolf, to supply 84 helicopters, and the first 4 of those has been delivered. And to win such a prestigious contract in the US, I'm sure everyone will agree, is no easy task for a European organisation. We have collaborated. I think it was the right thing to do with Boeing, but it's a Leonardo product. And finally in the family, the AW189. Its class-leading speed, range and payload. It provides the highest performance in demanding search and rescue and medevac missions in particular. As well as troop transport and military roles, 19 passengers can be seated in the cabin and 22 people can be rescued. It's considered to be the ideal solution for long-range all-weather search and rescue. Again, those of you who want more technical details, they're readily available. Just come and check out the website or come and see us. For me, it's very pleasing to see a photograph of an aircraft in Portuguese colours. So here's another good example. The AW119, so known as the Koala, in service now for a while with the Portuguese Air Force. We've had tremendous feedback from the Air Force. They say they absolutely love the aircraft. It does exactly what they expected it to do, wanted to do, need it to do. And there's nothing like that kind of positive feedback. It's far better to hear it from a customer than for you to hear it from me as the representative of the supply organisation. Offers very good cruise speed, performances exceeding 130 knots. It's a single engine derivative from the twin engine AW109, so it brings the cost of ownership benefits associated with a single engine solution. Finally, from the helicopter portfolio, we'll just talk quickly about the AW101. Again, I'm very proud to see it in the colours of the Portuguese Air Force in this photo. It's the it's the EH-101 in Portugal as its designation. Portuguese Air Force operates as a fleet of 12 such aircraft in 3 different configurations. It's unique in its class. It has 3 engines, which provides significant additional safety capability. And the Portuguese Air Force are renowned across the world for their expertise in optimizing the 2-engine cruise capability that this aircraft offers. The ranges that the Portuguese Air Force operate for the search and rescue are second to none in the world. Huge sea areas, and there are many people alive today who would not be if it wasn't for the EH-101 and the rescue missions that have been performed. For those of you who are here in person, we invite you to call by, talk to those of us who are here on the Leonardo stand, and we'll also be in the networking area. We'd be very happy to receive you and to answer any more questions or provide you with any additional information that you might have. That just leaves me to thank you all for your attention, and it really has been a pleasure to be here, so thank you very much.